And what's up, guys? It's Kevin here with Tactical Gimmicks, bringing you some more Tier 4 Carthaginian hoplites with Hasdrubal. This battle is going to take place on Salernium. It looks like we actually have a pretty good team composition. Some elephants, some siege, a lot of infantry, a cav player, and some archers. And yeah, this is probably this is a pretty strong comp, I think. But we are joined by my buddy Jack, who is going to be giving us some more of his jokes and laughs while we record this video.
Kev, baby, what's happening?
Pouring yourself a drink there, dude?
Yes, sir. I'm finishing this bottle tonight.
You're
Very excited.
Jack's finishing his big boy bottle of bourbon. It's like
Bullet bourbon, baby.
it's almost
1.75 liters.
yeah. So over 2 bottles of whiskey in one bottle.
The only thing cheap is the price. Bullet bourbon.
Actually,
Actually, I'm not a spokesperson for Bullet Bourbon though.
we're not
Don't
getting
even know who I am.
we're not getting paid by them yet.
No.
We're not getting paid by them yet. They're actually that's not a cheap bourbon either though. Just like for a regular bottle, I think they usually run $35 for 750 mil.
All right. I think it's when you buy in bulk. Kind of like when you buy at Costco.
Yeah.
You must really need toilet paper. Here you go at a discounted rate. So, Kev, you're about to tell me a story.
Yeah, I was about to tell Jack at the end of our last video had brought up.
So, wait. Let me explain this. So, I asked Kevin about a question about, people who claim to, or not claim, people who know people from the internet, and that's strictly it. Like, they play video games with them, and that's the only way they know them. They've never met them in person. And so my question was, how is that different from catfishing? And so the obvious answer provided by Kevin was that it has to do with what was your answer?
Um, I mean
Oh yeah, you're not trying to deceive the other individual.
yeah. So
Um,
as long as you're not trying to deceive, because it could be like catfishing, but as long
and
as you're not trying to
I
deceive.
was saying that that makes perfect sense, and that it's weird that I grew up at a time when it was the norm is just you meet someone first, and then you connect to them electronically, and like how this is kind of a new thing. Not to say new, but this is definitely something that's taken place in the last 20 years, and so I don't know. It's just something I've wondered because it is kind of a paradigm shift that we kind of take for granted. I mean, take advantage or not advantage. Think of like dating, how it's now moved to the internet with Tinder and Bumble and all that shit. So I don't know. What were you saying, Kev?
So I had brought up that I had a buddy who I played World of Warcraft with in high school. Stayed in contact with him. He actually went into the military. Believe he was in the. I looked it up after that last video, well, we took our little break, and after we got off the phone before we started recording it, I popped on his page really quick. I'm pretty sure he was in the Korengal Valley, which was the heaviest conflict zone in Afghanistan. And so I think he saw, which I originally I said he'd gone to the Marine Corps, but he did actually go into the Airborne, and I believe he was in the Korengal Valley. Um, I think he said something about that. I just don't remember. But that's somebody who, over the last 10 years, even though we don't play games together anymore, we only even played World of Warcraft together for about 2 years. He had Facebook friended me and we stayed in contact. But I had another story about a little more interesting, I guess you could say, of an individual that was a girl who I also played World of Warcraft with. And we knew she was a girl because we'd be on TeamSpeak or whatever, and you could tell from her voice that she was obviously a girl.
Not from
Uh,
all of them.
yeah, not for all of them. There were a couple traps in there.
Let's
Every
face it,
once in
all
a while.
12-year-olds sound the same, Kev.
Yeah, that's true. But she was actually a girl, and like myself, she aspired to design video games one day, which for me that never ended up happening. But back in between senior year of high school and starting college, I did go and take a summer program at a local college about video game design. and there were a couple girls in the class and a couple guys. Our buddy Nick actually went with me, which was kind of fun because Nick and I went and learned how to make video
Which Nick?
games.
Nick from
Thedelius.
Wheaton?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. He actually went with me for that, but he ended up just playing video games with some of the other kids in the class. Yeah, he didn't actually learn anything. Like, I was there to learn, and Nick was just there to like make friends and game, and then we'd go and get lunch and smoke cigarettes. But there were a couple girls in the class, and I didn't get to know any of them at the time. And then I came to find out that this girl who I was playing World of Warcraft with actually was one of the girls from the class. And that was the second time it happened to me. I had a friend in World of Warcraft who I don't keep up with anymore that I actually played in soccer when we were in high school, interestingly enough. I played a tournament against him, and he remembered that he remembered me because I got red carded out of the game, and I injured a kid after that kid cleated somebody on our team, and the coach put me in, and I ran on the field and I pile drived him. Took him out of the match, and somebody who I played World of Warcraft with was oddly enough from that. But circling back to this girl, sometime after this program, we realized that we had been in the same program together because we were playing late one night, and it was just her and I after everybody else that we were playing with had logged off, and she mentioned that she was a college student at Loyola, downtown Chicago, and then she was studying game design. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I want to do that. I just did this game design program at, I can't remember what, there's a college that's in Wheaton in Donata, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a technical school. And I was like, oh, I just did this program at this school. And she's like, oh, I did that program too. And I knew there was a couple sessions. I was like, oh, I did like the third summer session for that. She was like, I was there too. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, how does this move the plot along?
I am moving the plot along. And I was
Why
like,
are you giving me dialogue? I don't need character development in the story. I want to just know
We're
why
right
is this
there.
so unique to knowing someone you met from the internet?
Because we're right there. So we realized that we had actually met, and then we Facebook friended each other. Never met her again in real life, but I'm still friends with her on Facebook to this day. I'm still friends with her on Facebook, and she's very active on social media. And she has
He's
actually.
unhappy.
She might be. I don't think so. But she's very active on social media, and she has made it into the game industry. She's a professional game designer now. So kudos to her for that. But something that's really interesting about it, and I haven't talked to her for years. I don't even comment on her posts. But they show up in my news feed, and I usually have a little laugh or a little smile because when she's posting stuff, it's like utterly ridiculous. So some examples of that, what I mean, is she'll once every year or two, she'll go on the rounds where she's interviewing with all of the companies because whatever game she was working on has launched and she's no longer needed by the company that she's with. And I'll see her. I know some of the games that she's worked on, and I don't want to throw their names out there for obviously for like, I guess legal reasons, but
It's not important, Kev.
it's not. But they're not very good games, and I've seen things that she's posted that she's worked on herself, and they're not very good. So my opinion of her is like, yeah, it's cool, you're a video game designer, but you're not very good, and a lot of your posts are really like kind of attention whoring. She's not very attractive, but she likes to consider herself a model level cosplayer. So she'll go and do these photo shoots, but she's not a very attractive person. So just kind of a little background there. So she's not a very good game designer, but she's in the industry. She's not very attractive, but she thinks she's a model, and she'll go and cosplay and get photos taken. She is.
Hey, Kev, I just want to throw in there right now, but it kind of sounds like you're describing yourself in the wrong pronoun. You think you're good looking, you're not. You're in the industry, but
I'm not in the video game industry, though.
No, but you're in the industry. Your line of work.
Yeah, I'm good at printing, though. That's what I do.
Kevin's a sex worker, by the way, guys.
Don't tell
case
my
you were
wife.
wondering.
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife.
She doesn't care.
No, she doesn't. But so she'll make these rounds and she'll say that she's going. two of the more recent ones that were from like maybe 9 months ago. She said that she was going to Europe and she was going to interview with Creative Assembly that makes this game that I'm playing right now. And she was going to interview with Paradox Interactive, and I sat there and I fucking prayed, and I said, please do not let her get hired by either of those companies, because although I wish her the best in life, she is not very talented, and these games need more talented people working on them already. I did not want her to get hired by Creative Assembly or Paradox.
Who's Paradox? I'm gonna offend the hardcore nerds on this right now.
What's Paradox?
Stellaris, Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis. They make a couple other games, but those would be the
So
titles.
it's pretty much like your fun time.
Yeah, dude, some of my fun times.
You
The
don't
games-
want her to be behind your high source of dopamine release.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not just because not it's not anything against her. It's just the things that I've seen and known that she's worked on weren't very good. So I've been cheering against her and feeling sort of bad about that. One of the stories that she posted, she interviewed with a company, and they asked her. I'm not sure exactly what she does, or what she does for games, because I thought she was a programmer, but yeah, maybe she is a programmer, and this was just, she made a Facebook post maybe 6 months ago that said she interviewed for a company, and during the interview, the person that was interviewing her asked what the worst user interface in a game she had ever seen was, and like she like was putting this up with quotes, like she was like, so he asked me this, and then I said this. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Mario.
Oh, Mario. No, so she said, I don't think it would be appropriate to answer that question in an interview. And then she said the interviewer said, oh no, like, I mean, it's fine, we won't hold anything against you. And she's like, well, I was playing this porn game once, and it needed both hands to play the game, and you would think if somebody wanted to make a good pornographic game that they would make it so that you could play it with one hand. And I was like, you didn't fucking say that in an interview, and if you did, you're just trying to just...
I'm not touching that one, Kev.
No, like, dude, there's so many things wrong with the. I'm like, one, that didn't happen, and two, if that.
No one has ever been that bold to me ever about anything. Not even women that were trying to sleep with me.
No, you know what? When I worked for the staffing firm, I had a woman make an assertion. I had her make a sexual innuendo once, but nothing anywhere near that bold, and I was interviewing upwards of 10 to 12 people a week. But I was like, one, you didn't say that, and two, if you did say that, you were trying to leverage your sexuality to get into that role, which isn't a bad thing. If you're
I would do that.
Oh yeah, no. If you're
If I was pretty, I would use it to its full advantage and then some.
Oh, 100%. If you're a girl and you're confident.
No. If I was a hot guy, yeah.
Oh, I would if I was a hot guy.
Use that any day.
But let's hone in on women. If you're a woman, you're attractive with the way that you look, and you are comfortable with guys.
Yeah, but I'm not delving into this one. This sounds stupid. I'm just telling you, like, I get it. I would have done the same thing.
And I support that too. Like, I would do the same thing, but at the same time, that's kind of.
You're hating the player, not the game, dude. This is actually a time when "don't hate the player, hate the game" is a perfect slang. Like,
I don't
perfect.
actually follow. I don't follow.
You're hating the player, i.e., the girl who made the alleged sexual innuendo in the interview, and you're not hating the game, where interviewers might use that as something to sway their vote on the hiring.
Well, no. So yeah, but I'm not hating
Oh,
the
that's
player.
exactly what I'm saying.
I'm not hating the player because she made that comment. I'm hating on the player because I just don't want her to work for Creative Assembly or Paradox. I would love for her to get a job with any other company, but I don't want her ruining the games that I like. And I'm sure it takes a lot more than a single person.
But
to
you said
ruin
that
those
was
games.
you said that was the other thing. That's what I was saying. I was saying you just didn't want her to be a part of your Kevin's playtime.
Yeah. Well, no. So,
Yeah.
but that story is separate then, because I don't believe that that was from her creative assembly or her Paradox interview. Like the timeline didn't match up. That was just something that she posted. She said that she didn't get the job. Um, so the point that I was making was, if that's going to be kind of your fallback, then you're kind of leveraging your sexuality to make yourself look more attractive, even though you might be underqualified for a job, because her work isn't that good. It's acceptable.
Yeah.
It's
And I
acceptable, but it's not
like
that
I
good.
said, Kev, I would do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and I would too. So that concludes that topic. If you want to hear more,
Kevin's had enough, baby.
I've had enough of this. I want to queue up for another battle, but we are doing one battle, one fucking video. So with that in mind, hit the comments section. Hit the like and subscribe.
Remember,
button.
we're a couple of shit talkers and bullshitters, so
Yeah, attack us.
call us out. We didn't talk about
Please
anything
attack us.
factual today.
You know, I mean, at this point, I think if somebody
This-
commented in the section and said that they would want to come on and try to like banter with us and fight us, we'd do it. I'd fucking record that. I don't give
I
a
would
shit.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, we did just talk about meeting with people over the internet. I get it.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. Let's go. Let's
But
hop
they
on.
got-
Let's have a
I'm
cigarette and
gonna
hop
throw it
on
out there. They
Craigslist.
gotta join us by drinking whiskey and beer.
They do. If you're gonna hop on the channel, you have to be drinking whiskey and beer while you're recording. So hey man, I'm gonna hop on. Let's have a smoke. I'm gonna hop on Craigslist and we'll find some people to record with.